Good evening. On behalf of the class of 2019, I would like to welcome all friends, family, distinguished guests, faculty, and staff. It is because of your constant support that we're here today celebrating our success. For those of you lucky enough not to have encountered me racing in the halls from class to class, my name is Edgar Canales, and I am proud to have the opportunity to share the thoughts of our senior class. Looking back, I still recall the moments leading up to my decision to apply for New Tech. I had many worries on my mind this one typical spring day in March, back whenever Arkansas had its weather straightened out. Unluckily for me, the thundering hum of our ancient and deteriorating lawnmower made it difficult to concentrate. I was about to make one of what would be the most important decisions of my life up to that point. Did I want to risk it? Would the new way of learning be worth it? Did I really want to make this decision while mowing the lawn? Who knows? The words of my parents echoed in my head. Do whatever is best for you and for your future. Did I really want to venture off into the unknown? Like many of my peers, I started off clueless. Freshman year was full of learning experiences. We pushed our boundaries. We challenged ourselves to grow. We realized that maybe public speaking wasn't for us. We lost all hope of ever presenting without turning bright red or overthinking the simplest things. While I was still stuck on combating my shyness, others made bigger discoveries. We learned that although many limits can be pushed, there are some strict boundaries you must not touch. Some students eventually learned that maybe it wasn't the best idea to bring Nerf guns to school during their freshman year. I mean, to be fair, it was a modern-day representation of Romeo and Juliet. It's not their fault that the 2.5 hallways made it difficult to evade an authority figure. As we progressed towards sophomore year, we started to feel like part of something bigger. Dr. A's words truly began to take shape. The promise that this was our school and not his school created a unique environment found nowhere else. Our learners took this to heart. As poet and philosopher Post Malone once stated, if you like something, rock it. If you want to wear a cape every day, go for it. This phrase, in essence, is what the class of 2019 lived by. But no matter what everyone decided to wear, we all shared the same panic as Miss Basic walked by to check our blog posts. The dread of having an unfinished rough draft even led a few individuals to paste their old essays in between two really rushed paragraphs. Fun fact, she never noticed, and we all lived peacefully until the next big deadline. The only thing missing to make sophomore year even better was a bit of false hope. And you bet we had enough of that. Mr. Woodard, I have no idea where you are right now. We're gonna miss you. But wherever you go, I hope you can finally find a fish for that fish tank. We've been waiting years. If you need help bringing it out of your room, you have about 174 eager volunteers to see a promise be fulfilled in, 30 minutes? Lightening up the mood, we did have many students who decided to take classes at our local community college. As soon as learners were given the opportunity to seek higher education their junior year, they ran with it. I absolutely promise it wasn't just because of our freedom to decide if we wanted Chicken Wednesday at New Tech or if we wanted some chicken McNuggets about 8 minutes north of the school. A few of us here are even graduating with an associate's degree on hand. The rest of us, well, instead of getting stuck in a 3-hour lecture hall, we got stuck with a painfully slow Wi-Fi as Fortnite slowly took over our servers. Finally, we arrived at senior year, the moment everyone thought they would be looking forward to, the promise of greatness and absolute freedom, the great feeling of success. It only took one class period to shut that myth down. Senioritis slowly took over us. We did, however, get so much accomplished. We practiced math and made Mr. Sprinkle proud. We calculated how fast we had to drive in order to make up the time of the 7 alarms we snoozed. We found new creative ways to use our resources and pass our classes through the 4 sacred tests known to every senior as Google, Wikipedia, SparkNotes, and Quizlet. We felt like intellectuals. Well, up until the point we realized we still had 40-something missing assignments in class. Still sorry, Mr. Daniels. Although we move forward and our journey together comes so close today, we still rejoice in memories that brought us together. Our high school career will be remembered by the experiences we created, not the individual classes we managed to endure through. Today marks the end of the Journal saga, and quite possibly the last time that we might hear Mr. Daniels talk about the hottest new gossip. We're here today living our final moments before our liberation to the so-called adult world. High school left many marks on us. We learned to live in the moment and value the experiences created. To take the opportunity and become who we want to become, I learned that sometimes we have to sacrifice a perfectly good article of clothing to whip cream just to get a perfect shot of a facilitator getting pied in the face. We learned that nothing can stop us. Most importantly, many of us learned that there's always a workaround, no matter how hard the school tries to block us from using Spotify and YouTube. Once again, I'd like to thank all of you for supporting us during this journey. Graduates, please acknowledge everything our facilitators have done for us. Finalmente, gracias a todos los miembros de familia que durante esos 12 años pudieron cruzar las barreras culturales y lingüísticas. Thank you and good luck to all of you, and congratulations to the class of 2019.
Hello, my fellow Americans.
We finally made it here, graduation.
We're just as surprised as you are.
We gathered you here today to celebrate all of our hard work. We have all earned this moment, and our time at New Tech has prepared us for whatever life has in store for us.
What do you mean we gathered you? We didn't do anything. The administration did everything.
Okay. We entered this school as strangers, but we leave it today with bonds of friendship that will never leave us, even if we're thousands of miles apart.
What do you mean, friends? I know like 13 people in this crowd, and thousands of miles apart, most of these people aren't even leaving state for college.
The memories we made here will never leave us, whether it's watching in horror as a student body forces your own father to perform Ice Ice Baby in front of the hundreds of people every year.
Drinking 10 Papa John garlic sauces for half a pizza, then being too sick to eat that pizza.
I wonder who could have done that. All the Smash Bros tournaments that got way too heated.
Madica's bad.
Or the
general stress that will haunt your dreams for the next 4 years until your memories of college take those place.
Using Mr. Daniels' class as an excuse to be deviant.
Economics destroying my very being and my GPA.
Attempting to find true love.
Of which he never found. Watching Netflix in class.
Stressing out about what college to go to.
And finding out how to sell a kidney to pay for it. Or constantly being told to get off game chat.
This is a bittersweet time for all of us, a celebration of a time that we will always look back to, but wonder how we let pass us by so quickly.
You mean a time we're going to look back and think, man, did I really try and rock a neckbeard?
Maybe some of us will. While we may look to the past with longing, we also look towards our future with hope. We are about to approach a level of independence that we've never known, but that we've worked hard throughout our whole high school career for. The fact that we're all sitting here today shows how much we've earned this. We're ready to take the next step in life.
A step I'm going to fall on.
When we look back, I hope we'll see high school as more than just a goofy story or an embarrassing yearbook picture. As my dad always said, high school is what turns 14-year-olds into adults. When we look at high school, we'll see the experience that transformed us into the adults we have become with all of our accomplishments and mistakes.
And mistakes aplenty, and I mean aplenty.
Throughout our time at Rogers New Technology High School, we've worn many hats.
Myself included.
Learners,
classmates,
students,
dank memers,
disappointments,
class clowns,
band members,
ex-band members,
colleagues,
Smash champions,
JoJo fans,
hard workers, the boys,
dungeon masters, employees, athletes,
and not so athletes.
Well, the title I hope we are all most proud of is Dear Friends. Whether we spend our time in high school working towards that 4.0,
or realizing that D stands for diploma,
I hope that we will all go out of high school with what is the most important. That we came to New Tech different people than we're leaving it. That we've all grown into mature people, better prepared for our future. We're the next generation of doctors,
shut-ins,
electricians,
stay-at-home dads,
engineers,
Raiders of Lost Arks,
teachers,
Star Wars fan fiction writers,
mechanics,
phantom thieves,
business leaders,
soccer moms,
members of Congress,
protesters who don't know what they're protesting about,
and baristas. Not that there's anything wrong with being a barista. But no matter where your path leads you, we know that none of us will forget the place we called home for 4 years, the friends we made there, and the lessons we learned. No matter where we end up, we'll know that we'll always cherish our time here at Rogers New Technology High School.
Thank you.
I remember, not too long ago, we were all freshmen. Some of us didn't even think that we'd make it to graduation, but here we are. Many of us faced new and old challenges along the way, but through our willpower and determination, we didn't let them control our life. Instead, they have changed us as individuals. One of the biggest challenges that I faced was losing my mom at an early age. I wrote a poem that relates to that topic, and it's called Mamá. Mi mamá murió de cáncer cuando yo tenía 12 años. Ese día lloré como si tuviera 3 años. Yo no podía creer que mi mamá se había muerto. Estaba en shock. Días pasaron y lo único que podía pensar era que no tenía a mi mamá conmigo. Mi familia me decía que todo iba a estar bien, pero yo no les creía. En el funeral yo la miraba y pensaba, te fuiste muy temprano, todavía te necesito, solo tengo 12 años. Yo me preguntaba, ¿quién va a ser mi mejor amiga como lo eras tú? ¿Quién va a tener mi espalda cuando no los necesite? ¿Quién me va a proteger? ¿Quién me va a amar? ¿Quién me va a abrazar? ¿Quién me va a decir, échale ganas a la escuela como lo hacías tú? ¿Quién va a gritar mi nombre el día de mi graduación? ¿Quién me va a ayudar a planear mi boda? ¿Quién va a hacer todo lo que tú ibas a hacer conmigo? Sentía que estaba perdida en el mundo sola, porque mi mamá ya no estaba. Desde el día en que mi mamá ha estado ausente, mi hermana me ha recogido cuando me he caído. De ser una extraña, se convirtió en mi mejor amiga. Me ha apoyado en todo y lo sigue haciendo con todos los planes que tengo para mi futuro, aunque yo sé que se le partió el corazón por la mitad, escuchar que muy pronto me iré a la Marina de Guerra. Por estas razones es que yo la considero ahora como mi segunda mamá, porque se ha encargado y cuidado de mí desde el día en que mi mamá murió. My sister hasn't been the only person who has motivated me to strive for the better. Today I am joined by families and friends who have encouraged me and made me realize that we are all stronger than we think. Mr. Resendez, Ms. Ford, Ms. Poole, Mr. Daniels, and Ms. Basic, and many more facilitators have done the same and have taken the time to not only know us as their student, but to know us on a personal level. At New Tech, we've all become like a family that has supported one another through all our ups and downs. As a result, there are a lot of students who can relate to facing a barrier, but who can also relate to having gained a growth mindset from the last 4 years. We've been challenged academically, encouraged to think above and beyond about what we thought we could do, and we've also been introduced to adulthood, even though some of us might not have reached that point physically or mentally yet. This is not the end, it's only the beginning, because at this moment we are stepping into reality, which is real life. No safety nets, no buffers, but another adventure waiting for us to embark on. It's been a long journey and a fun one too, but out there, God has an even longer road waiting for us to walk through with Him. We've been set up for success and taught so many things that now the only thing left to do is to put what we've learned into action. It doesn't matter where we're going to, whether it's the workforce, college, or attending a university. All I know is that out there in the real world, we can't say, I'm dropping your class, or I'm gonna skip this class. Maybe even, I'm gonna quit my job, or I can't do this anymore. There is no more room for excuses. We should know better than that by now. Something that some of my classmates and I have also learned is to not be an abdicator, considering that we'll be left wondering all the possible what-if questions. My fellow classmates, let's not live in fear of the future and the unknown. Instead, push through and strive for the best that we could possibly achieve. But we can only make this a reality if we try. Although we all go through tough times, it's not hard to overcome them, especially with the help of God and with people who believe in you. Take my word for it, we've made it through the beginning, and now we're taking a leap of faith into the real world. Congratulations, class of 2019, we've made it. Let us make the future a bright one for us all. Thank you.
It's sort of awkward sharing my feelings that I have built up over the years at New Tech, but I know I really want to share this. We've all gone so far and have been through so much, and it just feels spectacular, scary, or something in between leaving. But I know I want to share this poem. My name is Noah Fitzgerald in the 2019 graduating class at New Technology High School. And this is Someone, Something, Somehow. When I was younger, I wanted to grow up. I wanted to be someone, something, somehow. When I was younger, I needed to show that I could do something, be someone, somehow. When I was younger, I knew I could do it. I knew I could be someone, do something, somehow. When I was younger, I had support. All of my teachers, counselors, family, and friends. They told me someday I would grow up, be someone, do something somehow. I remember crying when I left elementary, middle, and finally, now I'm gonna cry leaving high school. I remember all of the fun presentations, book talks, Socratives, homeworks, club meetings, weird talks, vocab checks, pop quizzes, and late assignments, and also those assignments I never turned in. Thank you for everything, all of my teachers. No matter how much I slept in your class, I want you to know that you really kicked butt. I want all of my family to know that you really cared. And that I'm sorry for all the days that I really just wasn't there. Honestly, you have taught me the most. Now to all of my friends, thank you for helping with all of my homework. I wouldn't have made it without you. Thank you for being there for me, my friends till the end. I hope that we will continue to talk. Thank you to the strangers who I never got to know. You helped shape this school and helped make each day different, no matter how weird it was. Thank you to the one that I love. Thank you for all of the hugs. Thank you for being you and for being with me. Thanks for the support. I know that our time together is worth it, and hopefully our time together will last forever, Kelly. This isn't the end, even though it feels like it. It's not a goodbye, no matter how much I want to cry. Even though this is just a start on our new journey, it feels spectacular. And I know that we will all be someone, do something, somehow, absolutely. Thank you so much for listening.
Class of 2019, before anything else is said, I must say thank you to everyone for being here. Parents, family, friends, and facilitators, thank you all for coming, especially the learners. I know today could have been used to stay in bed and sleep all day before college hits us with the student loans. Our years at New Tech have been quite the ride, some more than others with hitting the gas on those tight turns, or taking a wrong full of turns a handful of times. But we all were able to make it here, all of us taking different routes, meeting at a final haven, even if it is for a brief moment. It's moments like these where we will look back for a glance of pride and hopefully joy. I'll try not to drag this on too long because I'm sure that you all want to literally walk into the next stages of your lives. But we gathered together here to celebrate the small achievements that have built into this greater one. Throughout the years, I've seen all of you working on various achievements, on countless early mornings and late nights. Although I know that not every project was a success, and I know we all wish we could have done differently, we should be proud of ourselves for trying. We came to New Tech for a challenge, and I can say without a doubt that these 4 years provided exactly that. Challenges, failures, and growth were given the moment we stepped foot on this school. Especially failure, don't get me wrong, I'm sure a lot of us still wish we knew everything about the world. But if that were the case, moments like these wouldn't matter as much. The learning, the projects, the debates, etc. wouldn't have been valued as much as they are now. The great Thomas Edison once said, "I have not failed, I have found 10,000 ways that won't work." Don't we all relate to that? Failure is a given in any moment in your life, but it's up to us if we choose to learn from our failures. We were encouraged greatly to fail big and become better learners from our mistakes. Talking about failures, where would they be if not encouraged by our facilitators that go by many names to us? Our at-school parents, our leaders, our guides, our friends, and our family. No speech is complete without mentioning our rapping ice baby principal that has made this school possible, Dr. Arbuckle. The man not only provided for his staff, but his students throughout the years of experience that they have built for who they are today. For that, I want to thank him on my behalf and on this graduating class. Though, as we bring Dr. Arbuckle up, we must mention the other leading figures in this school. Mr. Daniels for being the most hardcore shipper in this school and giving us a sense of reality when we need it most. Miss Cable for showing us the love of a mom, but a passion of an English nerd. Mr. Morley for helping us give us a sense of equality and empathy throughout our years. Lou, Sisson, Porter, and Taylor, Basic, and Verdez, you will never be forgotten as the ultimate duos of this graduating class. Miss Akers and Miss Jordan, thank you for letting us go wild with our art so that we could relieve some stress from our other classes. Ms. Licklider and Mr. Nelson, thank you for encouraging us in a subject we dreaded at times, but pushed us to gain the knowledge for our future understandings. Mr. Poland and Feltz, thank you for being great role models for a better fashion sense and a better future. Ms. Putnam, Poole, Mr. Wooder, and Koff, thank you for making science once again fun for all of us to enjoy. I know for a fact that I'm forgetting a handful of facilitators' names, but know that even if I did not say your name here today, that each and every one of you inspire students to do their best, not just in the classroom, but in their everyday lives. There's someone listening to you, even when it seems that we're distracted by our phones or Macs. We do listen, especially when we hear the pride in your voices, telling us that we're going to go somewhere with our lives. So thank you to all of you for showing us that there is more to life than a simple degree, that there's more to us than test scores and statistics, and thank you for showing us, these young adults, that there's more than meets the eye. Before I leave the speech and we begin the ceremony into the next stages of our lives, I want to tell you a few words before you leave today. For the longest time, even to this day, my mom has always told me to be someone in life. I'm sure like any other parent or guardian in this room, she means for her child to be successful, to be able to provide for themselves, to be able to reach their dreams, and more importantly, to be happy with who they are. But the more I thought about it, the more significance it held. Not only because I wanted success, but because being someone in life reflects so much more than that. So I tell you, class of 2019, to be someone in life. To be someone in life that shows kindness, to be someone that helps others, to be leaders, to be dreamers, to be someone that respects the people, and to be someone in life that has a voice, to be the person that stands when nobody else is standing. Thank you, graduating class of 2019, for everything, for the inspiration, the unbreakable friendships, the amazing memories, and all the incredible feelings that you gave that made this school great. Thank you.
Hello, fellow learners, students, graduates. Hello, graduating class of 2019. Does that sound weird to anyone else, or is it just me? Here we are graduating, and here I am, and it still hasn't fully sunk in. It's been a really long road on the way here, but not just high school. I'm talking about our entire academic career. Some of us came from Kirksey, some from Oakdale, some from Lingle, and I thought that since I came from a completely different school, that I offered a unique perspective on the place that we've spent 7 hours a day, 5 days a week for the last 4 years. I didn't know anybody. I had no friends, no clubs, a different school, a different learning method. I felt alone. I realize now that many of those things can be said about all my classmates. We came from a different school and started getting put in groups of people that we didn't know. We got thrown headfirst into the system that we know as PBL. I wasn't a strange case. We all had teamwork and got to learn the pain of bad or rather lazy team members, but also got to experience a lot of really good groups, which really helped prepare us all for the real world. And we became students who can be successful in professional settings. I then thought to myself, if everyone at least felt close to my stressful freshman experience, they also probably felt my deep appreciation for New Tech. I don't know about any of you guys, but if I wasn't in classes with teachers who frequently, without complaint, would be accepting almost every bit of my late work, which was almost every assignment freshman year, thankfully I grew. I most likely wouldn't be on stage receiving my diploma today. If it weren't for Mr. Daniels and all his emotional support, a lot of us wouldn't have made it through school. I realize now that it doesn't matter what school you came from, who you knew in the beginning, or how new the learning style was to you. We all found a family. Our new friends, and our new home here. I mean, what other school has, or rather had, lock-ins? Or how about the mass of student-started clubs for pretty much everything you can think of? Or most importantly, a principal that not only cares about anyone who asks for help, but most importantly happens to rap Ice Ice Baby at talent shows. My point is, although at some points everyone inevitably finds something about a school that they don't like, We all lucked out in the decision making when we signed up for this school. And we are all better people, students, employees, and friends because of it. Now is the time that I'm supposed to spout out an overused quote from Robert Frost about taking the road less traveled, because that's what we're supposed to do, but since when have we fit the mold? I also disagree with the use of using taking the path less traveled at every graduation, because not everyone needs to pioneer something. But what everyone can do and should do is succeed. We don't have to find a new way to do everything, but we sure can do it better than everyone else. There's no telling where the future will take each and every one of us, but I have complete faith that there's nothing that we can't do if we put the time and effort into it. The only things that can get in our way are fear and doubt, but I'm here to tell you that the things you've heard about the real world are not as scary as you think. Half of us already have jobs, and we've been prepared for almost everything that life can throw at us. And the things that we aren't prepared for, we can make our way through it. I guess what I'm trying to say is, congratulations, class of 2019. You made it. We made it.
Look, I know most students who write speeches and come up here to talk in front of the class are usually the smartest or most popular.
Or some secret ninja that most of the other students didn't even know existed. So you might be wondering why, of all people, it's the two of us up here.
If you think about it though, neither of us really have any friends, so we might fall into that secret ninja category.
Though neither of us is recognized as cool or popular through these past 4 years, we still have some pretty amazing memories.
That we do, which we will definitely find some inspirational words to throw up all over them.
But first we wanted to talk about some of the most influential people we've had the ability to meet these last 4 years.
People we can all relate to that have helped us through this difficult and awkward,
very awkward
time in our lives.
And for those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, this is it.
I want to start the reminiscing with a memory from freshman year that Mr. Nelson shared with us and our honorary best friend from kindergarten, Dasha. We shared so many fun times in that class, but the best one has to be about pork and beans, coming first, slightly ahead of our very unsafe, however much more fun, way of measuring a pole in the parking lot.
Sorry we tried to throw you up there, Dasha. It won't happen again.
Back to the beans we be spilling. The moral of the story is Mr. Nelson had just decided Abby likes pork and beans, and that was the only present she got for all of her birthdays.
And no, Mr. Nelson, I still do not like pork and beans. Sorry to burst your bubble.
Though we kept making memories throughout the years, we feel the teachers and administration in this school have given us the opportunity for the best high school experience, and they don't get enough attention in these speeches.
I first want to say thank you to Mr. Sisson and Mr. Burdess for instilling a passion for history into my life. I had always hated that subject. The two of you have shaped my future in the best possible way.
To Mr. Taylor for the jazz hands on the daily and the super extra modeling, we really appreciate it.
Ms. Colandani, thank you for always putting up with all of the craziness our class brought with us, and sorry for being annoying and knocking on your door really early at skills, but you really needed to get up.
To Miss Basic for always helping all of us with proofreading our essays and scholarship applications long after we'd been in your class and right before they were supposed to deadline.
Mr. Morley, your endless dad jokes in the morning were really something. While I'm sure some enjoyed them, they were entirely too corny for most of us, but I give you an A for effort.
Mr. Feltz, this is the last time I'm ever going to be able to do this, and you should have seen this coming, like the apple juice in your coffee, but obviously I'm going to mention you losing me. I would like to make sure it never happens to another student again, so everyone needs to know not to go with Feltz anywhere, unless you're attached to one of those hand rope things from kindergarten.
And we are not going to mention Mr. Daniels.
We just don't want him to be in every speech in the history of Unitech. He's not that special.
You're special, Hannah.
Hush, Toto.
And Miss Cynthia.
You had to deal with the endless times our class wanted to wake up just a little later.
And then also go get some Chick-fil-A.
And ended up being late.
We really just don't deserve you, Miss Cynthia, at all.
And for the grand finale of teachers, who I'm sure you all may guess.
Miss Akers, thank you for dealing with me during my 4 years of high school. You helped me figure out who I am and became my school mom. You put up with so much all of the time and never asked for anything in return, except for tea. You're kind and inspiring and also really sarcastic. Also, I don't actually think you're old. Thank you for making me realize that I can be something and for giving me a passion for photography. Thank you for not giving up on me or on anyone else who turned to you for help and support. Thank you for not killing me during yearbook, and most of all, I'm sorry that Hannah and I never gave you peace and quiet.
Actually, I'm not sorry about that. But in all seriousness, you're second mom to me, and I can't imagine what my high school career would have been like without you. You influenced my life plans, gave me inspiration, and drove me to do something that I really love. I wouldn't be following my passion of photography without you. Not only have you inspired me to do what I love, but you've made the time doing it so much fun. We joked and sassed, and the last 4 years have been the best 4 years they could have possibly been. Abby and I may not think you're old, but I'll still call you it forevermore. So look forward to that. Lastly, I'm sorry we couldn't have made yearbook go any smoother this last year, but guess what? You can't make us do spreads anymore.
And for those of you sitting out there right now preparing to go forward with your lives, good luck with that.
And what Toto means by that is we've all made so many memories between the 147-ish of us, especially in this last year, that I'm going to be sad to see some of you go. And the rest of you, hasta la vista.
So our class may not have been the first for many things, we definitely came in last for a lot.
Wow, that was so inspiring. No wonder we made it up here.
You know what I meant.
We were the good class in the last lock-in.
Fun times those were.
We had movie nights every month.
We were the last class to remember having just a small section of the building and having the OG classes here who created the school culture to begin with.
And though I'm sure some of us will meet in the future, this is the last time we will all be together to reminisce the fun and hard times of our new tech careers.
And just because this is the last time we'll all be together, that doesn't mean we will forget any of you.
So thank you to our facilitators
And the administration.
and to the class of 2019. Thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. Today I have written us a poem that basically sums up my perspective and experience of the past 4 years of my life, starting from a little thought I assume every 5-year-old has. I can't wait to grow up, said the 5-year-old me, but nobody told me about how scary it would be. October, the fair is back in town, roller coasters, kids, and more than one clown. You hop on a ride not thinking about a single thing. You secure yourself, take a breath, and it starts moving. A second later, it's May, and a major milestone is just days away. At this point, you've encountered a constant loop, grade after grade, school after school. You've become an expert of rewording schmoop and procrastinating every night thinking, it's cool. Suddenly, you're at the highest point of the ride, about to come down. 5, you don't think you can make it. 4, you're overwhelmed and just had your 100th breakdown. 3, your body starts trembling in fear from the biggest element down to the tiniest bit. 2, you're a second away dressed in your maroon cap and gown. 1, your name is called, you walk the stage, and no, this is not a skit. The roller coaster comes to an end and you hop out of the seat thinking, thank God I made it. But nobody told you about how much it would be missed no matter how much you wanted to quit. Seniors, it feels like just yesterday when we took our first steps into Rogers New Technology High School, with our fresh cakes, new clothes, and our laptops strutting like cool kids. Or when we reached 10th grade, taking block class and being so scared when we first heard the word presentation. Or when we reached 10th grade, taking block class and feeling so scared, thinking you might fail your AP exam. Or sitting through yet another class of App Black and sitting and stressing out because you were uncertain of which classes to take your senior year. Now we're sitting here reminiscing, but definitely happy that we bounced back and finished those classes, because now you can look back and say, I did that. I finished high school. It wasn't easy to regain confidence in ourselves when we were in doubt, reassure ourselves when we second guessed, and get through it all when obstacles got tough. But this was just a start. This was just high school, and we can't take full credit because we know our atmosphere is based on growth mindset, where we switch cans to cans, won'ts to wills, and all around negatives to positives, which are all continually enforced by our facilitators, who are our main mentors, and our parents, who are our source of motivation. Therefore, to all facilitators, thank you for making sure we never gave up and worked to our fullest potential. To me personally, there was one specific facilitator who I felt really saw true potential in me when I didn't think it existed. Mrs. Basic, I want to thank you for not only noticing when something was wrong, but also taking action. This amazing woman made me realize that I, as well as my goals, have purpose, and with the right amount of determination, are attainable. She opened my eyes to see that there is an endless road of gaining knowledge. Because of her firm belief in me, she made sure I didn't give up by changing my attitude about school, to the point where I was able to visualize where I was at fault evaluate, and adjust, and I can never thank her enough for planting a seed of wisdom, stability, and insight within me. Ignan berbagi nim kamolo le jinem jema kanai rogar yahoya yimpul kada erro. Imerong tabarai nim imelu bana rokpa. Mama and Papa komol kan amiro kar merong kapoy ala bai kuit. Lam nakani di jim chakal jaya. Imelap tata kan amiro kar kata kanyo. Kami jak cio pa cino chala kajan. Raini ne mai kagala yan ho to kay ranin to jala kawin. Imilo chongana merong ijir jala. Imna jugot pangangan komro eno chuan ni jinyo ya pa chinen jaman. Although we're done with high school, this is not the end but the beginning. Now on to the real world. Congratulations, class of 2019. We did it.